Welcome to this English pronunciation lesson. Today we're focusing on two very important sounds that many English learners find confusing, the S sound and the Z sound. These two sounds are similar in many ways, but they have one critical difference that we're going to explore together. By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to hear, produce, and use both sounds correctly in your English speech. In this lesson, we have four main learning goals. First, you'll learn to identify and hear the difference between the S sound and the Z sound when listening to English words and sentences. Second, you'll practice producing both sounds clearly and accurately so that native speakers understand you perfectly. Third, you'll understand the voicing difference in articulation, which is the secret to mastering these sounds. And fourth, you'll master using both sounds correctly in real English words, phrases, and conversation. Let's get started. Let's begin with the S sound. You can hear the S sound in words like Sue, sun, seat, city, and face. To produce the S sound correctly, place your tongue tip just behind your top teeth. Keep the airflow steady and continuous. The key characteristic of the S sound is that you do not use your voice. If you place your hand on your throat, you will feel no vibration. The S sound is like a snake hissing, SSSSSS. Try saying these words after me, paying attention to the hissing quality of the sound. Now let's look at the Z sound. You can hear the Z sound in words like zoo, zero, zone, rose, and busy. Interestingly, the Z sound is produced almost exactly the same way as the S sound. Your tongue tip goes behind your top teeth, and the airflow is steady and continuous. However, there is one major difference. The Z sound uses your voice. When you produce the Z sound, your vocal cords vibrate. If you place your hand on your throat, you will feel a clear vibration. The Z sound is like a bee buzzing, ZZZZZ. The tongue position is the same, but the voicing makes all the difference. The single most important difference between the S sound and the Z sound is voicing. Voicing means whether your vocal cords are vibrating or not. For the S sound, your vocal cords do not vibrate. There is no vibration, no buzz, no hum. For the Z sound, your vocal cords vibrate, creating a buzz or hum in your throat. This is the core difference. Everything else about how you make these sounds is exactly the same. The tongue position, the airflow, the mouth shape. Only the voicing changes. This is why they are called voiced and voiceless pairs. Here is a simple test you can do anywhere. Place your hand on your throat and say both sounds. You will clearly feel the difference between the silent S and the vibrating Z. Let's summarize the comparison between these two sounds in a clear table. Both sounds have the same feature when it comes to voicing. S is unvoiced, meaning no vibration, while Z is voiced, meaning the throat vibrates. When you test with your hand on your throat, S produces silence and Z produces vibration. The tongue position for both sounds is identical. The tip is behind the top teeth. The airflow for both sounds is also the same, steady and continuous. In fact, the only difference is the voicing. This is what makes them a perfect minimal pair for learning. Change the voicing, and you change the entire sound. Now we're going to practice with minimal pairs. A minimal pair consists of two words that differ in only one sound. Our first pair is Sue versus zoo. Both words have the same vowel and the same ending, but the beginning sound is different. One is S, one is Z. Next we have sip versus sip. Again, the only difference is the first sound. Then we have rice versus rise. Here the S or Z sound comes at the end of the word. Finally, we have face versus phase. The first syllable is identical except for the final consonant. When you listen to and repeat these pairs, focus only on the voicing difference. Everything else remains the same. Listen and repeat each pair 3 times, feeling the vibration in your throat with your hand. Let's practice with more minimal pairs to strengthen your ability to distinguish these sounds. We have bus versus buzz. Notice that bus ends with a silent S, while buzz ends with a vibrating Z. Both words are very short, so you can focus entirely on the final sound. Next is lace versus lays, then miss versus ms, and finally nice versus nice. As you practice these pairs, remember to use the throat vibration test. Place your hand on your throat for each word and confirm whether you feel vibration or not. A helpful practice tip: say each pair 3 times in a row. This repetition helps your mouth learn the muscle movements needed for each sound. Your brain will start to automatically recognize and produce the correct sound in the correct situation. Now let's focus on words that contain the S sound. We have single words: snake, sun, city, face, and mouse. Each of these words has the S sound, either at the beginning, middle, or end. Practice saying each word clearly, remembering that the S sound is like a hiss with no throat vibration. We also have common phrases: six sisters, soft sand, sweet smile, and silver spoon. Notice that some of these phrases have multiple S sounds in them. When you practice these phrases, maintain the hissing quality throughout. Here's a helpful tip. Place your hand on your throat while saying these words and phrases. You should feel absolutely no vibration. The sound should be clean and whisper-like. Repeat each word and phrase several times until it feels natural. Now let's practice words that contain the Z sound. We have single words: zoo, rose, busy, prize, and zebra. Each of these words has the Z sound, and you should be able to hear the buzzing quality in each one. Remember that the Z sound comes from vibration in your vocal cords. We also have common phrases: easy zoo, blue rose, busy bees, and first prize. Notice how the Z sound appears in different positions within these phrases. When you practice these phrases, maintain the buzzing quality consistently. Here's a practical tip. Place your hand on your throat while saying these words and phrases. You should feel a clear, steady vibration. This vibration is the signature of the Z sound. Repeat each word and phrase several times, and you will develop muscle memory for producing this sound correctly. To master the S and Z sounds, follow these two essential tips. First, use the throat test regularly. Always place your hand on your throat when practicing these sounds. For S, you should feel nothing, silence and no vibration. For Z, you should feel a clear buzz or vibration. This feedback is extremely valuable because you can feel the difference directly. It takes the guesswork out of pronunciation. Second, practice with minimal pairs every single day. Pick pairs like Sue and Zoo or Sip and Zip and say them 10 times each day. This daily practice trains your mouth and your brain to automatically recognize and produce the correct sound in the correct context. With consistent practice, these sounds will become completely natural to you. Here is the most important message. Practice for 5 minutes daily, and you will achieve perfect S and Z sounds forever. The key is consistency, not intensity. Short, daily practice is far more effective than long practice sessions once a week. Thank you for learning with me today.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit CodeLucky.com for more such useful content.